launch an EV charger. We're solving the problem of charging infrastructure, so charge everywhere when you want.
John Singo from Drive Electric. Let's go green.
Yeah.
Hi everyone. Joshua from Fika Mobility. Zero emissions.
Hello, good morning everyone. My name is Ismail Abdallah from EcoBorder. In EcoBorder we say we are moved by change.
Yes.
Mwanzo Nyakundi from Equator Mobility. We lease electric fleet vehicles and commercial vehicles.
Right.
Hello everyone, my name is Raymond Mayo from Dear Church. We are transforming mobility in Africa through carbon financing.
Morning everyone, my name's Ayad Alizi. Come talk to me at the Untapped tent about scale-up capital for e-mobility all over emerging markets.
Good morning, I'm Engineer Mugambi from Kenya Power. I'm here to power the e-mobility, green energy.
Right.
Fantastic, thank you so much.
Give it like 5 years ownership. At year 3 you should have gotten your money back if you bought an EV as opposed to
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. And I'd like also just to hear Mr. Iyadi's sentiments on that, as you also now help us think through how would I also just a common mwananchi, a common guy like me, where would I get the spare parts? You know, do I need to go and buy a new solar panel, or what would be the, because definitely we are used to getting the spare parts of the normal vehicles that so we'll need also to hear from that. Mr. Iyadi, what are your thoughts on the cost implications of this?
Yeah, I get that question a lot. Where do I get the spare parts? Well, with my car, and I feel like it's with most EVs, you get your spare parts where you get a normal ICE car spare parts. Like brakes, it's the same sort of brakes as an ICE car. You actually have less spare parts. Tires are still the tires. But I guess what mainly people are asking is the spare part for the batteries. They ask about like how much will it cost to swap a battery.
Yes.
When you find EVs nowadays, you don't really do battery swaps because the technology of the battery is much better now. So you find batteries will last longer than the life of the vehicle. So batteries would probably, like my car, the Evo has an 8-year warranty. When I do my research, the battery would last 20 years. And you find not many people will keep their cars for 20 years. By the time the battery life is really deteriorated, the body of the car itself will be done.
Yeah, because we actually need to differentiate this battery swap from an engine swap. You get what I mean? Because basically, figuratively, when I look at the car that I'm driving and when I look at the cars that are here, changing a battery, you're actually telling me that it's changing the entire engine system of a particular vehicle, all right?
Yeah.
Good. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Iyadi. I'd like to hear from Rob on that. Cost implications and probably how we can now better change the mentality. Are we going to, if I'm going to come and work for Mr. Iyadi, and definitely I'm going to come and start pitching value over the costs, all right? How would you re-engineer our minds to make sure that we are better placed to be able to focus on the value of what we are getting?
Yeah, thank you for the question. It's always the challenge, of course. I need to pay more upfront to make more savings during the life of the vehicle. And for many people, that's not so easy. So, a couple of things. First, we also need to talk to the banks and to the financial institutions. They need to understand that an electric vehicle costs more upfront, but then we get more savings. In UNEP, we did a study. If the boda driver would go to an electric motorbike, they can double their income because they have no spare parts, they have no oil, no spark plugs, and no fuel. But they need a little bit more money up front to get an electric motorcycle. So we need to talk to the financial industry, and there's some of them are here, and see how they can help the Wananchi to access electric mobility. The other thing to say is, yes, electric vehicles, new electric vehicles are quite expensive still. But increasingly, used electric vehicles are available on the market. which actually are not so far off in cost from a used petrol vehicle. Go on the internet and look. I bought a Nissan Leaf second hand 5 years ago for $15,000. It only had 2 years, 15,000 kilometers on it. Almost new. Duty free on it. That's not so much difference for a petrol saloon car. So we shouldn't be only looking at new cars. And as I said earlier, increasingly the developing world is buying electric cars, mandatory, make it mandatory, and therefore more and more used vehicles will be available. But I think it is not one single answer. We need to look at financing industry, look at operating models, look at the product availability. But I'm quite sure in 5 years from now, we will fix that. And ordinary Kenyan will be able to go electric.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you for that, Rob. We appreciate it. Let me hear from John. All right. Why do you think, in your own words, it would be preferred to get an EV over and above the current other cars that we have now, current petrol cars?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So, Leaf, that is 24 kilowatt hours. If you use the current KPLC rates, that will be about 750 shillings, full day budget. And with that, you probably could go between 100 to 150 kilometers. However, there was someone who was asking me, and it came to around 4 bob a liter. 4 bob a kilometer. So that's it. 4 bob a kilometer. We all have seen the price of fuel. We all know how much it is that we use for fuel. That's the main argument, apart from the environmental benefits. But that argument alone that I've given you is more than enough.
Right, thank you for that. I have a question, and I'd like to find out. We'll start from Rob, going to Alex, Yati, and then we come back. I just want to find out. Yes, definitely the game plan looks really good. Yeah, definitely. This is where we are heading. The future is definitely here. But how are we going to handle, quote unquote, the current cartels that are there in the petroleum sector, the ones who are in the manufacturing sector, who are currently assembling these particular vehicles? I'm sure there's going to be a lot of pushback towards this, because definitely they do not want to go out of business. How would we approach that particular scenario in a tactical and strategic manner? How would we do that? I know definitely there's no clear template, but maybe on a high level, how would we do that?
Well, let me rephrase the question slightly to you. What scenario do we want? Scenario number one, where we keep depending on imported fossil fuels for our mobility. Imported Indian motorcycles for mobility. Fossil fuels that get double in price every few years for our mobility. Scenario one. Scenario two. All these guys here now build electric motorcycles in Kenya, creating green jobs in Kenya, using electricity in Kenya that comes from hydro, that comes from wind, that comes from solar, that comes from geothermal. Homegrown energy. Option two. What option would you choose? The import option or the Kenyan option?
Before I give my answer, let me hear from the audience. How many are for option one? How many are for option two? 100%. My answer is not based on them. I would definitely go for option two. Definitely, I would go for option two. Thank you for rephrasing that part. All right, thank you, Rob. It's important to paint the clear picture and to keep us all aligned and focused on where we want to go and a better tomorrow for all of us. Thank you for that. Mr. Alex, what do you think about that? You're in City Council, you're going there, you're in KRA, the battles that you're doing locally. Take me through your journey.
So, strangely enough, I do share the same sentiment. And there is some issues of the city council guys in the matatu business trying to push back from electric. However, you cannot push back what people prefer. There was a video going around where there was a noisy Nairobi matatu, which every one of us has been, and there was a nice bicycle matatu. Guys prefer the nice bicycle matatu. There's no way you'll be going to work in the morning and it's just boom, boom, boom every morning when it's not nice seats, it's not quiet. There's sometimes you just need the overall good ride. And actually, all of us here, at some point of level, we are putting in our hands and our brains into creating a local mini economy in the EV sector. Either we're employed by the roads, the people say, bicycles, and people like this. And I'm happy that most of the faces that I'm seeing here today are people actually doing this business. We're the same people who are going to school to develop curriculum and say, EV is coming, how do you develop curriculum to educate the next generation of these guys? It's easy to import a matatu from Japan, but what value does it come from? It's just employing a driver and a conductor. But if you look at the EV value chain right now, it's the technicians, the families, guys in border. And if I'm a border operator, and when I was saving, instead of taking 400 bob at home, now I'm taking 1,000, that makes sense. Then if the same company is employing my cousin to do the assembly, that makes sense to me. But we need to go ahead of that narrative of there'll be a pushback, which there will be, and it's expected. Anyone doing their own math is expecting that. So we will expect the pushback, but the EV revolution is already here. You can already see what's happening here. And guys are actually really excited.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Alex.
Okay, so I guess my opinion is just to add on what everyone has said so far. What even people in the gas industry need to understand is sort of competition between ICE car versus gas car. Like if you look at other countries which have adopted mobility, like for example the UK, there's still gas cars there. And UK has I don't know how many, like thousands of charging stations. And you see electrical vehicle, every other car is electrical vehicle, but there's still people who drive gas cars, no matter how many gas stations there are. So those imports, like cartels who are into the gas industry, should realize it's just almost a new market. Yes, it will take time to adapt until the charging infrastructure is as good as fuel, and there's technology in terms of speed of charging improves. But it's not so much competition. We're not taking their market, or it's a new industry. It's not going to affect them that much. But then they also should realize that in the next few decades they'll have to also adapt to the mobility.
Right. So yeah, is it in the next few decades or is it in the next few months?
Like I believe. I like positive thinking, so let's go with the next one.
Next month, alright. Okay, fantastic. Rob has already painted a picture for us, so we're good. Alright, thank you for that. Over to you, my good friend.
Yes. So I think that it has the person that we need to focus on is the consumer. We are here. Let people actually choose.
Yes.
We have our Nissan Leaf there. You can have a test ride. And what we found is that once you go electric, you don't go back. It's that simple. So our biggest, the people who will influence this the most will be the people who get a chance to actually test it out. And that's why forums like this are very, very important.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Alright, thank you for that. I'd just like to get a parting shot from each panelist. Give exactly 10 seconds. Give us that one memorable parting shot that will definitely change the rest of our lives for good. I'll start with you, Rob.
Well, my parting shot is, I had some of these politicians and they didn't believe in electric mobility. And I took them in my car. And when I got out, they said, this is the future.
Fantastic. Help me appreciate Rob with a round of applause. It's good to be practical. All right, thank you. Alex?
If you ever get a chance to drive an electric vehicle, an electric bike, just take it. then after 5 minutes, say what you think. Most 100%, 99, 100% will be really happy you actually shifted.
Fantastic. All right, help me appreciate Alex one more time. Wow. I've realized that these vehicles are actually extremely silent. Maybe we'll discuss in the next panel how to make sure that we can be able to make sure that we don't get also accidents on the road, because we are accustomed to hearing cars coming closer and closer, probably, yeah. But anyway, that's just on the side note. All right, Mr. Ayadi.
Yeah, so in 2020, when
Yes.
I first started talking about starting this company, the conversations about e-mobility was like this much, like very little. And 2 years later, we're now having an e-mobility expo. So I'm very excited even by just this event. And by the next event,
Yes.
maybe it will be exactly a year from now, I believe the conversation will be way different. And if you charge as a company, and as myself as a founder, I'm going to make sure that happens.
Definitely.
So I'm excited.
Same here, I'm equally excited. How many of us are excited? Catch the same excited that Mr. Yadi has. Thank you very much. Help me appreciate Mr. Yadi with a round of applause. That's of course all right. Let's hear from John. Parting shot.
Yes.
Yes.
There always has to be that controversial person. Reduce taxes. Reduce taxes on EVs. It makes sense. That's my part.
Fantastic. All right, let me appreciate John with a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We have come to the end of panel 1 discussion. Let me see by a show of hands, how many of us believe that the future is in this panel right here?
In the middle of the panel.
All right. No, but let me see, for the ones who are seated here, how many are actually saying that I am a game changer in this particular initiative and I am going to make it happen, and you believe in this? Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together.